What's up, y'all? My name is Keith, your man of letters, here to bring knowledge, information, and at least, hopefully, a bit of entertainment. Mercury retrograde. X is coming up. We've got a 3-card spread for you. Keep in mind, you will be deciding which one of these cards that will be yours. There are 3 in front of me. You will pick one card, and she will speak to you. You know how X's, it is said that X's, amongst other things, I thought we would do X's because I have a cool dream to tell you about. First things first, thank you guys for choosing to subscribe to the channel, and thank you for at least considering to do so if you do decide to pull the trigger. Notification bell is right next to it, might as well slam that at the same time. Thanks to the squad for the continued support. Love you guys, thanks for the help, we've been killing it. Okay, let's get into it. I'm not sure why articles get so angsty when they talk about exes. I'll tell you, this video is not here to hate on your exes. For all I know, you might be the dickhead in the relationship. Or both of you might have been the dickheads in the relationship. Or neither of you could have been dickheads in the relationship. This isn't a video where I'm going to hate on your exes. Or hate on you. If the exes are going to show up, they're going to show up. And you might as well learn from it. We have 3 cards here, like I said. Feel free to pick one, and I'll get into each card individually. But first, I want to tell you a dream that I had on, and then I'll do links, I guess. Might as well put tags in the video for each card. Oh, here's the dream. So, it was probably my mid-20s. About my mid-20s. And I had a dream about my ex, and I wanted to see her. Real bad. It was the day before Mercury retrograde too. I wanted to see her real bad, and in the dream, I wanted to see her real bad. So check this out. I used her bathroom. I hadn't seen her in a while, in a couple of years, but I used her bathroom in the dream, and I left the toilet seat up. So it was weird. In the dream, I was like, I'll leave the toilet seat up so that she knows I was here. Kind of like, what the hell? I'm the only woman here, and I leave the toilet seat down. This is strange. So, and then she appears the next day at lunch, and she's like, hey, call me tomorrow, I want to hang out. And I thought to myself, that's really strange, because our relationship ended in fire and brimstone. Fire and brimstone. She was an Aquarius, I am Aries, at least my sun sign. So you can imagine how hot fire can get when you add wind to it. Well, it ended in an inferno. Not hating on her by any means. It was just, and the dream I was like, damn, that's weird that she would want me to call her like that. That's not at all what I was expecting. I haven't spoken to her since the day it ended. It's been a couple of years now. Well, in the dream, this is the interesting part. In the dream, her bathroom that I went in was disgusting. It was dark and disgusting and danky, like wet, murky, dankety. Like, it was like a really nasty old sauna. Grungy, kind of like worn down, and it was a gross bathroom. And the girl that I was sitting at the table with, who was my girlfriend at the time in the dream, she wasn't my girlfriend at the time in real life, but in the dream she was the girl that I was seeing, and she was like real proper and real put together, and like the exact opposite of the other girl in the dream. Not that I was any more inclined to that woman I wasn't more inclined to one or the other, right? Because the one with the disgusting bathroom, if you're not able to put together the symbology at this point, the one in the disgusting bathroom had my attention more, had my pull more, because for whatever reason, that relationship was just super charged relationship. Though it was super destructive at the end, it was also equally as magical during the time. And the other one was well put together, didn't necessarily have that fire behind it, but had more stability. It has its own pluses and its own negatives, both of them. And so I was able to deduce from the dream, or infer from the dream, that nothing, actually. For me, my dreams don't necessarily give me answers. My dreams just show me a different angle of looking at something, and that's what the dream did. It was obvious in the dream. It was saying, okay, you have this woman from your past that didn't work out, and there's excitement and there's passion and there's these things, but it's also dark and disgusting and dirk and just a nasty ass bathroom. And then I had the other option that was well put together, also a beautiful woman, but it lacked the sort of oomph. So again, it didn't really give me an answer to anything. It just showed me, oh, okay, this is how my mind works. This is how I see them. This is how I can learn from them. This is how I can put things together from the two relationships. What was I attracted to, and what did I want, and what direction was I headed in? Because in the dream, I didn't want to go back because I was like, oh, she wants me to call her. That's interesting. I was super excited about that, but then I realized, oh, but that fucking bathroom. Damn, that shit was not cool at all. I didn't come to a conclusion upon awakening, nor did I come to a conclusion in the dream. All I did was enlightened to my psyche, my subconscious mind. Now, that being said, when it comes to X's coming up in Mercury retrograde, let's not folly to our blame game, to the hype of fuck my ex, I'm better than that, or I'm going to post 1 million pictures on Instagram of how cool my life is and all the cool things I'm doing just to show my ex like how much fun I'm having without them. If you're one of those people posting pictures, we know who you are. We can see you clear from day of it. Look at the run I went on, and look at my amazing diet, and look at this really cool trip that I just went on, and like all these. I've done it before, just to prove. You know what I'm saying? It's not. Let's move beyond that. In other words, because what we want from the Mercury retrograde sort of re-encounter is, I guess, a closing. And it doesn't have to be a closing. Maybe you could rekindle the relationship. Maybe you could bring it back to life. I don't know. Like, I honestly don't know. I'm not going to say that just because they belong in the past, they need to stay there. They might not have been ready. You might not have been ready. Neither of you might not have been ready. Or maybe it was the wrong type of relationship. Maybe it shouldn't have been intimate. Maybe it should have been a friendship relationship. Or maybe the relationship needs to evolve, or there was something said. I don't know. Let's hope the cards can tell it, because that's why we're here. So we'll pull the cards. And if someone comes into your life, we'll use one of these 3 cards to sort of show how they show up, for what reason they will show up, and what you should do with that. So, reading from left to right, your left to right, is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 from left to right with the cards that you see in front of you. Now, ouch! Some more shameless promo, you guys. If you made it this far, you might as well subscribe. Join the squad. We got a good thing going here. Also, check out my Etsy shop. We have homemade candles, beeswax candles. We have mushroom chocolates that are definitely not for sale on the Etsy shop. Not trying to go to jail. Black pyramid candles. Essential oils. Absolutes. If you guys don't know what absolutes are, you fucking should, because they're fire. These particular ones are black frankincense absolutes, which are like essential oils on steroids. Anyway, let's go. You ready? Our first card here is the 5 of Wands. I will read to the general meaning. The suit most often called wands and sometimes called rods or staves represents initiative, ambition, drive, and desire. This is the suit of enterprise and risk-taking. The 5 of this suit symbolizes struggles caused by ambitious maneuvering and a competitive urge. This could be about someone who is pushing his or her agenda forward at the expense of others. Ooh. I swear that's the chair. There can be a fine line between demonstrating personal excellence and making others feel like losers. It may be necessary to ask yourself, who is it that really benefits when we all fight so hard for such small rewards? Am I serving a negative, manipulative agenda when I start applying battle metaphors to business? Interesting. Very interesting. Even when your only motive is to be the best you can be, it is understandable to want recognition for what is fine and unique about you. However, minimize the number of egos bruised in the process, or your success will be celebrated alone. However, you guys pulled the reverse position. So, let's continue that. When team spirit fails despite all efforts, your inner strength can pull you through. When the Five of Wands is reversed, there is no way to completely overcome the competitive environment. You are unable to bond with your potential partners in a team spirit. You must fall back on your own sense of mission and sense of survival to provide direction. Let's see if I can sort of sum this up for you guys. So who knows, maybe the person that's coming back to you, if you guys chose this card, is a obviously super fiery relationship, maybe overly competitive relationship, which tends to be squabbling over bullshit, small ass things. And like the card said, you apply almost tactics of warfare, which is interesting because I just put out an audiobook called The Art of War this morning. Anywho, you in relationships, you can't have your goal be to win. So maybe this is the lesson for you guys. Your goal can't be to win. The goal in a relationship is to have a discussion so that both sides come to an understanding of one another and you can do something useful out of it. Because like the card said, you have to minimize the amount of egos that you bruise in the process, or you will be celebrating your victory alone. Second card. I don't even know what it was again. What was the second card? Ooh, the Lord of the Triumph of Light. Cool, you guys. So for those of you that pulled up the Lord of the Triumph of Light. So those of you guys that pulled up the Triumph of Light, don't get too excited because your card was reversed. Look upon the movements of change as full of promise and adventure. So unfortunately, maybe that's the exact opposite you're going if your ex decides to hit you up, or if you decide to hit up your ex during this Mercury retrograde. Let's read the general meeting, huh? What do you guys say about that? The Chariot Tarot card points to a triumphal feeling of freedom, as if the charioteer is being paraded through the streets as a hero or a heroine. The card reflects congratulations for high achievement and serves as a sign of empowerment. Huge wheels, frisky steeds speed the rate at which the driver's will can power and be realized. This kind of charge makes more of the world accessible to one ambitious enough to seize the chariot's reins. But there is a danger in this feeling of freedom because of the increased rate of change and its power to magnify mistakes in judgment. As a seasoned warrior, the charioteer is called upon to be extra attentive to the way ahead. This is quite powerful. This is a Hermetic teaching, though they're not saying it outright. And that teaching is chariots are fast and powerful. Chariots are exceptionally fast. At least when they were created, there was nothing like a fucking chariot. Imagine, it was basically the ancients' tank. You could hide behind it to have protection from missiles like rocks and stones and arrows and spears, javelins, bola, other horses, people. It could be used to transport 10 soldiers at a time behind one chariot, right? And it was pulled by a horse, so it was fast as hell. You could mow down the front lines of an enemy and render their entire attack useless. So their chariots were powerful tools back in the day. Here's the thing. They moved fast and they moved powerful. If you set yourself in the wrong direction when you're moving fast and powerfully, quickly and powerfully, You will destroy everything if you don't make the correct decision. You know what I mean? That's the balance of power. Sure, you can move fast. Sure, quickly. Sure, you're a fucking tank. But if you aim that tank at your own home, your home is going to be the one getting bulldozed. Your home is going to be the one getting demolished, and there's nothing you can do about it because it's hard to stop a tank. You guys got the chariot reversed, so that's what I'm feeling if someone's coming up to you in a relationship. So let's go ahead and read the reverse position. When this card is reversed, it suggests that you may balk when you know you need to pick up the reins and take responsibility for setting your life in motion. You could instigate change, but you haven't yet chosen to move forward to it. And you may be holding back for it feels like good reasons, but nothing imposed upon you. You do have other options. So blaming circumstances. So we know about the chariot. Powerful, quick, but make sure you point it in the right direction or you're going to cause extreme catastrophe. So my guess is if it didn't work out for you, it was causing extreme catastrophe. However, it's reversed, so in this situation, you haven't even moved yet. So maybe you were too afraid of making forward progress because you knew what would happen, right? So I'm someone, personally, who knows I'm extremely capable. I know whatever I decide to do, I'm probably going to slay and be successful 110%. The thing is, because I know that, sometimes I don't want to go through with things. Like, I know I'll be successful. It's exactly why I don't want to do it. You know what I mean? Like, it's a peculiar place to be in. Maybe you have too many options. Maybe you're afraid of the truth inside. Maybe you knew that the relationship wasn't for you. And you knew that you didn't want to put anything else into it because you knew that if you did put some more energy into it, that you would be leading the person on because they might fall in love with you because that's just how you fucking roll. So you were like, nah, I know if I put effort into this, it'll lead to something that I don't want in the future. So you just decided to end it, right? So that could be the energy that you were working with if you chose the reverse chariot. Moving on to the next. Bum, bum, bum. I'm not sure what it is. Hold on, let me see. Oh, Two of Swords. And a little flower in the middle. Peace restored. So who knows? Maybe if you pick this old card over here on this side, maybe your ex coming back to you is a good thing. Maybe you guys learned your lessons, or maybe you guys broke up in the first place because there were circumstances outside of your control. Maybe one of you moved to a different country. Maybe one of you just, I don't know, someone died in your family and you couldn't process more emotions. I don't know, there's 1,000 different reasons why people don't work out together. That's not because one of them is a piece of shit, which seems to be, the direction of every Mercury retrograde article that I read on this topic, is like super negative and anti-X. We're above that. You guys, we are far above and beyond that. Take responsibility for our own actions, take responsibility for our own inadequacies. I've fucked up numerous times, and I would be a fool to blame any of my relationships solely on my partner that didn't work out in the past. So that being said, let's go ahead and check out the Two of Swords. Okay, so the Two of Swords, y'all. It's the Lord of Peace restored. So maybe those of you who pulled this, if you want to reach out to a lover, if an old lover wants to reach out back to you, maybe it's a time for mending. Maybe you guys have actually gotten your shit together and you can go forward with a new sort of relationship. Maybe one of you was a dickhead and you finally came to terms with it and you're like, yeah, I was a dickhead, I'm fucking sorry, it's not going to work out, I know that, but like, let's do something in the future together that is meaningful. And that helps both of us grow as people and learn from our mistakes. I'll read the general meaning for you guys. The two in this suit usually represents conflicting ideas or visions. These must be reconciled by communication in order to arrive in a harmonious place or to complete strategic negotiations. Mixed signals prevail. While they may be appearing to try to communicate, opposite sides are missing each other entirely, with possibly drastic consequences. In the best case, a frank discussion would clear the air and serve both sides. but one cannot expect that in every instance where this card appears. This card was received in the advised position. The Two of Swords in this position advises that this may not be a good time to make a decision. Neither allow others to push you beyond your boundaries, nor permit yourself to act impulsively. You need to fully assimilate the situation before making any moves, even if not having a solution as soon as you want causes tension. Have patience. There are circumstances in which action is better than non-action. This, however, is not one of them. Remain silent as much as possible and allow things to settle. A little meditation can help you achieve greater objectivity. You do not have enough information, as all the evidence has yet to come. Ooh, a little too much salt in the michelada. Anywho, okay, so the card was the Lord of Peace restored. However, it's not necessarily a cause to action. It's more a call to getting all the information necessary before making a choice. So before making the choice decision on your ex, what they're about, why they're reaching out to you, what you're about, why you're reaching out to them. I've had relationships like this before where it was like I genuinely felt like I was expressing myself in a way that would be understood by the other person, and they were like, I don't fucking get you, man. And I'm sure they genuinely felt like they were trying to express something to me, and I just was not fucking getting them. And they were just saying, I don't get it. No, just a complete turmoil of communication. This could be a time to revisit that. Again, a frank conversation is usually all one needs. And maybe if you got this card, the Lord of Peace. So this is what I'm getting. I'm going to end it on this. Lord of Peace restored. Sometimes, you guys, peace doesn't come from being understood. Sometimes peace doesn't come from being understood. Sometimes peace comes from saying your piece and leaving it at that. I fucking know, like, most of us talk to be understood. Most of us aim to be understood. And we lose our shit when we're not. Myself included. It is not up to us, for the most part, whether someone else understands us. It is in the sense that we have to be truthful and honest and include as much as possible from the get-go without withholding things. Keyth. But with that being said, once we do that, it's no longer on the other person to give us peace. It's no longer on the other person to understand us, to fulfill our need for peace. Once we've said everything, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Hypothetically speaking, you put your cards on the table and you hope for the best, right? If they understand you, wonderful. If they don't, it wasn't about being understood. It was about saying what we needed to. It was about making our peace, right? Lord of Peace. Say what you need to say. Say what you need to say. And be done with it. And that's it. I don't know if this was helpful. I hope it was helpful for you guys. My name is Keyth. Again, you're a man of letters, here to bring you knowledge, information, hopefully at the least a bit of entertainment. Again, if you guys made it this far in the video, feel free to subscribe to the channel. You have a good thing going here. For the people who have subscribed, thank you, and thank you for considering to do it. Thank you for shopping at my Etsy shop. Thank you for joining my Patreon. I have a bunch of cool trinkets at the Patreon or at the Etsy shop, like homemade beeswax candles and cool stuff like that. If you join my Patreon, you can get upwards of 20% off my Etsy shop, which is phenomenal. So the Patreon pays for itself, and it pays for my ability to create more cool content like this. Thank you guys. I appreciate all the love that you've been giving me over the past year and a half with this channel. Means a lot. Means a whole bunch, you guys. So thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.